Good morning, students. Class 6th students. Today we will start our chapter number 3rd, cell, the basic unit of life. Students, in this living world, you know that there are so many types of plants and animals there. Okay, and they show a large variation in their external features. Students, they all resemble each other in one respect, that their bodies are made up of some cells. Students, in an organisms, the cells are organized to perform different functions and to work together with one common aim. What is that aim? To sustain life. So we can define a cell as a basic structural and functional unit of life. So students, in this chapter we will study about the cell. First of all, we will study that how it is discovered. Students, cells are very small and they are invisible, as you know, that by the naked eyes. So they are visible through the microscope, and there was one scientist named Antony von Leeuwenhoek. He developed first simple microscope. Okay, he was the first to observe tiny single celled living units in a drop of water. Okay, but he did not name them as cell. Okay, student. Now in 1663, students, one scientist was there, Robert Hooke. He discovered a compound microscope which was made up of two lenses, and he examined a thin slice of cork under his microscope, and he observed some tiny honeycomb compartment like structures. Okay, and there he named these structures as cell. So this term cell is derived from the Latin word cellula, means room or means small compartment. Okay, students. Now, what is microscopy and biology? Students, of all the techniques used to study the organism, microscopy is probably the most important. The vast majority of living organisms, students, are too small to see with our naked eyes. So the cells and their organelles can only be seen with the help of a microscope. Okay, so students, some organisms are so small that they can be seen only by the magnification of 2000x or even more. Okay, some of them can cause diseases. Therefore, without microscope, many diseases we can't cure, like now also. Okay, as in corona. In microscopy, students, magnification and resolution both are important if you want to see the clear picture of something very tiny. Magnification, it is a measure of how much large a microscope cause an object to appear. Example, the light microscopes typically used to magnify up to about how many times? 400 times the actual size. Resolution, what is the resolution of a microscope or lens? Is that the smallest distance by which two points can be separated and still be distinguished as separate objects. The smaller the value, the better the clarity and the detail of the image. Now, students, we will see about some cell diversity. All the cells are not alike, students. They show some great variations. First of all, we will see that how they show the variation in number. Students, the number of cells in an organism depend upon its size. In comparison to large organisms, students, small organisms have less number of cells. The organisms that are made up of, students, single cell, they are called unicellular organism like amoeba, paramecium. While the most of these plants and animals are made up of numerous cells, they are what called multicellular organisms. Now, what about the cell size? Size of the cells varies from microscopic to large one. Bacterial cell, students, is the smallest cell. Underline this, students, that bacterial cell is the smallest cell, and student mark this also, that the nerve cell is the longest and the egg cell is the largest cell. Now, what about the shape? Students, all living cells show a great variety in their shapes also, which is determined by the function that a particular cell performs. Example, RBCs are biconcave. Okay, the cell of these Chlamydomonas is oval shape. Spirogyra, a multicellular alga, it is having a cylindrical shaped body. Amoeba, it is having an irregular shaped body. Paramecium, and this paramecium is having a what? Sleeper like shape. Now, basic cell structures of plant and animal cells, students, we will study here. Except for a few differences, plant cell and animal cells are quite similar in their structures. What are the some basic structures, students? Nucleus, cytoplasm, cell membrane. These all are common in plant cell as well as in animal cell also. Just have a look, students. This is the this is your diagram of animal cell internal structure. Okay, and this is the diagram of students plant cell. Clear? Now go forward. Cell membrane, students, just see here in both this cell membrane. Okay, here it is cell membrane in plant cell, and I will show you cell membrane here in animal cell. This is the cell membrane. Okay, now listen here. Both the plant cell and animal cell are closed by a thin delicate membrane. That membrane is known as, students, cell membrane, or we can say it as plasma membrane also. Students, it is living and elastic and selectively permeable membrane. Okay, and what happens, what is the work of it, function of it, that it separates the outside environment of the cell from the inside. Now, the main functions. First of all, it holds the protoplasm of the cell and provides mechanical support. Okay, because it is selectively permeable, it allows only selective substances to pass through it. Next, it provides definite shape also. It helps in the removal of waste products from inside the cell, students. Now come to the cell wall. Students, in a plant cell, the cell wall provides an additional support to the cell membrane. It is made up of one? Cellulose. It is rigid, freely permeable and non-living part of the cell. And what is the function of it? That it provides mechanical support and it provides a definite shape to the plant cell. These are some differences, students, of cell membrane and cell wall. Now come to the, students, nucleus. Students, the nucleus is the most important structure found in the plant, as well as it is found in the animal cell also. It is the largest known structure of a cell. Okay, which is the largest structure of a cell? Nucleus. It is dense, spherical, living body which lies inside the cytoplasm, and it is enclosed by a double membrane. What is that called? Nuclear membrane. Okay, students. Now, students, we will study its some more, that it separates the nucleus from the cytoplasm. Students, nuclear membranes surround some semi-fluid substance that is called nucleoplasm, And nucleoplasm contains one or more spherical bodies that are called nucleolus, and it is also having a network of some chromatin fibers. These chromatin fibers, students, contain thread-like structure. What is that called? Chromosomes. These chromosomes carry what? Genes. And what is the function of these genes? That they are the carriers of parental characters to their children. Now, what is the function of this nucleus? This is the nucleus, students. Nuclear membrane, nucleolus is there, chromatin fibers are there. Okay. First, that it control and coordinates all the vital activities of the cell. That is why this nucleus is also called the brain of the cell, students. It contains chromosomes also, okay, which carry what? Characters, parental characters in the form of what? Genes. And students, it also plays an important role in the cell division. So we will continue in the next video, students. Thank you.